right, welcome back. You're watching a Woman Wednesday edition of Liquid Lunch on BizTV, killing it through the first hour. Model, supermom, and investigative reporter Zen Sams joined us, along with the lovely and talented former Miss Florida, Karen Turk. She went behind the headlines with us, and we're going to be giving you a hell of a lot more right here in New York. As I mentioned earlier, the owners of Max Pub are under complete and utter attack by these tyrants leading our state, Governor Cuomo and Mayor de Blasio. And the sheriff is doing a lot of their dirty work. Came down here and arrested one of the owners, my friend Dan, not once, but twice in the last week. And the sheriff seems to be doing a little lying out there to turn the public opinion against Dan and Max. So I'm going to expose those lies a little later, an hour or two. Just waiting for the attorneys to get back to me and tell me it's okay. But right now, with Joe Biden looking like he may be the president-elect, you got to take a close look at your portfolio because this market's going to tank if he is. And every Wednesday, I'm joined by my buddy, Wall Street veteran Joe Hagan, CEO of Wealth Colony. And Joe, over the last year or so, since you've been coming on here with me every Wednesday, you've had some monster picks. I know you're not a financial advisor, but for your own self, you've been killing it. Data Dog, you started talking about in October. By April, it was up 200%. You were talking about Riot. Riot got into the crypto game, RIOT. It's gone from 3.5 to 10 since last November, since this November.
Right.
And Bitcoin, we've both been on the bandwagon for a long time, up 300%, and it's almost 20,000 again. And the Whopper, of course, lately, even InvestView, the common's performing well. What are you talking to people about, Joe, for their portfolio if they're looking for some growth?
Yeah, I think I can even invest you. And if it's trading comparably to Riot as a Bitcoin miner, you'd be looking with this thing Riot at $10, a $500 million market cap. You'd be looking at invest you at about 20 cents. And obviously, we've talked about it. I love the preferred, but my new pick is Workhorse for 2021. I think even in a Trump administration, they would, be signing off on this electric fleet for the U.S. Postal Service. But like you said, if Biden is indeed president-elect and looking at his policies, if you're going to be in the stock market, you want to have a contrarian play, in my humble opinion. And something resembling the Green New Deal would be all over Workhorse for basically the electric fleet running the U.S. Postal Service. I look at this here, the stock's down from 30. We talked about it yesterday. I sent you the information yesterday at 2021. I look at Workhorse at 2021 like I did at Bitcoin at around 10,000. It's not the bottom, but I think it's got a nice room for upside. And I think it could be a $50 stock.
Wow. So Workhorse trades under the symbol WKHS, Walter King, Henry Sam. For those of you who want to take a look at it, I know a lot of people in the audience, when we do talk about stocks, they check them out, do some research, they reach out to me. And I always remind them that I'm not a stockbroker, I'm not a financial advisor, I just play one on TV. But make sure that you're educated, aware, whatever you're looking at is suitable for you. And, if you feel like you know what you're investing in, then I think you're in a lot better hands than just listening to either me or Joe Hagan, who's one of the best in the business. Now, Joe, you mentioned InvestView a little earlier, the common stock after some great deals they've done recently with Roth Rock Capital. What's going on there? I've seen the stock has doubled from like 1.5 cents to almost 4 cents in the last few days. That's a good sign for me and you, but what do people need to know?
Yeah, thank you for that question. And yeah, I am not an advisor. I am a dinosaur, formerly known as a stockbroker. But when I'm investing, I just share these picks with my ecosystem. They do it what they may, right? As far as InvestView, you and I are pretty transparent about the fact that we own a lot of stock and we've been in it. We're not selling any or anything like that. The reality is that as a Bitcoin miner, so what happens? People get FOMO when Bitcoin goes to 20,000. Do I need to jump in now? Am I getting in too high? You know what? There's a lot of people that I speak to, John, their advisors can't buy Bitcoin. So in my former dinosaur days as a stockbroker, what are you going to do for those people who have an appetite for, rotation, looking for what's hot, right? And clearly Bitcoin is hot. So you look for the Bitcoin play in the stock. That's why Riot moved from $3 or $4 a share up to over $10 a share. It's still around there. In 2017, Riot went to 28 and a half when Bitcoin spiked to 20,000. Bitcoin is way different 3 years later. We've talked about that. Lots of reasons. Yeah. Lots of reasons why.
Been a lot of consolidation. There's been a lot more regulation that's come out. I think it's causing wider adoption around the country, around the world. And I think, we're free market capitalists, but this is one place where I've been saying, I think if the government comes out with a little more clear regulation, then it'll get wider adoption because people will feel a little safer. I feel like you, Joe, that's happening. And if you want to, hey, I want to be involved in Bitcoin, but it's 20,000 now almost for a coin. One of the companies that you can invest in that will have a collateral effect on the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes up. One of the companies that will benefit from that is InvestView by virtue of their mining business. So you can buy a piece of the Bitcoin run by buying some InvestView.
Correct. I mean, if you think about Bitcoin to that point, you literally, if you're in another country, you can throw all of your belongings in your Coinbase wallet, put it on your smartphone and flee the country. That's never really happened before in history.
Well, yeah, I'm hoping that although I'm broadcasting from Mac's Pub, I'm hoping that I'm not going to have to flee the country.
I wasn't referring to you
before that, but if they are gonna deport me, I'm probably gonna select Italy myself personally.
Yeah, no, I wasn't referring to you. As far as our country here, you've got everything from PayPal and Square to Pizza Hut taking Bitcoin. So the adoption, if you call Bitcoin a baseball game, I think batting practice is over getting into the first inning, right? As far as InvestView, they're mining. They're becoming a major player in mining. There's not many pure plays in the stock market as a Bitcoin miner. If you look at Riot, if you have the same hash rate as Riot, and InvestView does, if you compare apples to apples on that diagnostic alone, InvestView would then be a $500 million market cap, which would be about 5 times the price or close to a 20-cent stock. So that's why the stock is running. I think there's another way to play it. We've been doing the preferred, where you get a bunch of common in your back pocket. If you're interested, let me know. But I think that's ultimately what's happening, with InvestView. I think it's getting recognized as the real deal. Real players have come in. Real players have made real investments in real Bitcoin mining assets that have significant upside.
All right, we got to leave it there. Joe, thank you very much. I do want to point out to our audience that both Joe Hagan and I are subject to lockup clauses, so we're not going to be selling stock at any time, but we are significant shareholders and we continue to be big supporters. So, Joe, thank you very much. Appreciate it. We'll see you soon. We'll see you right there on the other side. Don't go anywhere. Coming back with hour 2 of a Woman Wednesday Liquid Lunch right after this.